The essential 200 words you should know for TOEFL exam. Each word will be presented in the following order. In the first line, you will see and hear the word, and what part of speech is it, plus the possible word forms. In the second line, you will see the synonyms. After that, the definition of the word. At the bottom of each slide you will hear a sample sentence with the word. Part 1. Words from 1 to 50. Adorn, verb, adorns, adorning, adorned, embellish, garnish, ornament, trim. For example, if someone adorns a place, he puts decorations on it. His watercolor designs adorn a wide range of books. Magnificent, adjective, magnificently, magnificence, extraordinary, glorious, grand, splendid, superb, wonderful. For example, if you say that something or someone is magnificent, you mean that you think it is extremely good. It is a magnificent country house in wooded grounds. Impressive, adjective, impressively, impress, impression or inspiring, grand, moving, thrilling, something that is impressive impresses you. For example, it is great in size or in degree or is done with a great deal of skill. It is an impressive achievement. Impress, verb, impresses, impressed, impressing effect, influence, persuade, sway. For example, if something impresses you, you feel great admiration for it. What impressed him most was their speed. Deal, noun, dealer, dealings, dealt, dealing, agreement, arrangement, bargain, contract, understanding. For example, if you say that you need or have a great deal of or a good deal of a particular thing, you are emphasizing that you need or have a lot of it. I'm in a position to save you a good deal of time. Throughout, preposition. For example, if you say that something happens throughout a particular time, you mean that it happens during the whole of that period. The national tragedy of rival groups killing each other continued throughout 1990. Tragedy, noun, tragic, tragically. Calamity, catastrophe, disaster, misadventure. For example, a tragedy is an extremely sad event or situation. They have suffered an enormous personal tragedy. Involve, verb, involved, involves, involving, involvement. Comprise, consist of, contain, entail, include. For example, if a situation or activity involves something, that thing is a necessary part or consequence of it. Running a kitchen involves a great deal of discipline and speed. Run, verb, runs, ran, running. Function, operate, administer, control, govern, and manage. For example, if you run something such as a business or an activity, you are in charge of it or you organize it. His stepfather ran a prosperous paint business. Discipline, noun, disciplines, disciplining, disciplined, chastisement, correction, punishment, control, moderation, restraint. Order and discipline have been placed in the hands of headmasters and governing bodies. Consequence, noun, consequences, consequently, aftermath, effect, price, repercussion, result. For example, the consequence something are the results or effects of it. Her lawyer said she understood the consequence of her actions and was prepared to go to jail. Stepfather, noun. Someone's stepfather is the man who has married a child's mother after the death or divorce of his father. Her stepfather has been married to her mother for 5 years. Enormous, adjective, enormously big, giant, huge, immense, jumbo, tremendous. For example, something that is enormous is extremely large in size or amount. The main bedroom is enormous. Rival, noun, verb, rivals, rivaling, rivaled, challenger, competitor, contender, adversary, enemy. For example, your rival is a person, business, or organization against whom you are competing or fighting in the same area or for the same things. He eliminated his rival in brutal struggle for power. Compete, verb, competes, competing, competed, competition, competitive, competitively contend, contest, rival, vie, combat, fight, strive, oppose. For example, when one firm or country competes with another, it tries to get people to buy its own goods in preference to those of the other firms or countries. You can also say that two firms or countries compete. The banks have long competed with American Express's charge cards and various store cards. For example, if you compete with someone for something, you try to get it for yourself and stop the other person from getting it. You can also say that two people compete for something. Kangaroos compete with sheep and cattle for sparse supplies of food and water. Preference, noun, preferences prefer, preferred, preferably. Choice, desire, favorite, option, selection. For example, if you have a preference for something, you would like to have or do that thing rather than something else. Many of these products were bought because customers had a preference for them. In preference to, noun phrase. If you choose one thing in preference to another, you choose it instead because it is better. Many people choose the train in preference to driving. Engrave, verb, engraves, engraving, engraved. For example, if you engrave something with a design of words, or if you engrave a design or words on it, you cut the design or words onto its surface. Your wedding ring can be engraved with the personal inscription at no extra cost. Inscription, noun, inscriptions, inscribe. Carving, engraving, epitaph, etching. For example, an inscription is writing carved into something made of stone or metal, for example a gravestone or metal. Above its doors was a Latin inscription. Brutal, adjective, brutalize, brutality, brutally. Vicious, savage, cruel, fierce, harsh, inhuman, ruthless, unmerciful, unforgiving. For example, a brutal act or person is cruel and violent. He was the victim of a very brutal murder. Struggle, verb, struggles, struggling, struggled. Attempt, endeavor, offer, seek, strive, undertake. For example, if you struggle to do something, you try hard to do it, even though other people or things may be making it difficult for you to succeed. They had to struggle against all kinds of adversity. For example, if two people struggle with each other, they fight. She screamed at him to stop it as they struggled on the ground. Noun, he died in a struggle with prison officers less than 2 months after coming Britain. Adversity, noun, adversities, adversary, adversely. Misfortune, mischance, mishap, tragedy. For example, adversity is a very difficult or unfavorable situation. He showed courage in adversity. Awkward, adjective, awkwardness, awkwardly bumbling, clumsy, halting, heavy-handed, lumbering, uncomfortable. For example, a situation in which you feel so embarrassed that you are not sure what to do or say. The more she tried to get out of the situation, the more awkward it became. Make things awkward, verb phrase. For example, to cause trouble and make a situation very difficult. She could make things very awkward if she wanted to. Prison, noun, prisons, imprison, imprison can, cooler, lockup, pen, penitentiary, reformatory, stockade. For example, a prison is a building where criminals are kept as punishment or where people accused of crime are kept before their trial. After being convicted of bank robbery, she was sent to prison. Favorable, adjective, favors, favorably, favorite, agreeable, good, grateful, gratifying, nice, pleasing, pleasurable, welcome. For example, if your opinion or your reaction is favorable to something, you agree with it, and approve of it. If something makes a favorable impression on you or is favorable to you, you like it and approve of it. His ability to talk while eating fast made a favorable impression on his dining companions. Accuse, verb, accuses, accusing, accused, accusation. Arraign, charge, criminalize, impeach, incriminate, inculpate, indict. For example, if you accuse someone of doing something wrong or dishonest, you say or tell them that you believe that they did. My mom was really upset because he was accusing her of having an affair with another man. Approve, verb, approves, approving, approved, approval, accept, favor, go for, accredit, certified, endorse, okay, or okay, sanction. For example, if you approve of an action, event, or suggestion, you like it or are pleased. Not everyone approved of the festival. Upset, adjective, upsets, upsetting, and upset, agitate, bother, discombobulate, disquiet, disturb, flurry, fluster, perturb, unhinge. For example, if you are upset, you are unhappy or disappointed because something unpleasant has happened to you. After she died, I felt very, very upset. For example, if something upsets you, it makes you feel worried or unhappy. The whole incident had upset me and my fiancée terribly. Incident, noun, incidents, incidentally. Occurrence, circumstance, episode, event, happening, occasion, things. For example, an incident is something that happens, especially something that is unusual. These incidents were the latest in a series of disputes between two nations. Dispute, noun, disputes, disputing, disputed, argue, bicker, hassle, quibble, squabble, wrangle. For example, a dispute is an argument or disagreement between people or groups. They have won previous pay disputes with the government. Verb, if you dispute a fact, statement, or theory, you say that it is incorrect or untrue. He disputed the allegations. Allegation, noun, allegations, allege, alleged, allegedly. For example, an allegation is a statement saying that someone has done something wrong. The company denied the allegation. Affair, noun, affairs. Business, concern, matter, shooting match, thing. For example, if an event or series of events has been mentioned and you want to talk about it again, you can refer to it as the affair. The government has mishandled the whole affair. Mishandle, verb, mishandles, mishandling, mishandled. Abuse, misapply, disapprove, misuse, pervert, prostitute. For example, if you say that someone has mishandled something, you are critical of them because you think they have dealt with it badly. She completely mishandled an important project purely through lack of attention. Critical, adjective, criticism, criticize, critique. Acute, climacteric, crucial, desperate, dire. For example, a critical time, factor, or situation is extremely important. The incident happened at a critical point in the campaign. For example, a critical situation is very serious and dangerous. The German authorities are considering an airlift if the situation becomes critical. He is in critical condition after the auto accident. For example, to be critical of someone or something means to criticize them. His report is highly critical of the trial judge. Campaign, noun, campaign, campaigning, campaigned. For example, a campaign is a planned set of activities that people carry out over a period of time in order to achieve something such as social or political change. During his election campaign he promised to put the economy back on its feet. Verb, if someone campaigns for something, they carry out a planned set of activities over a period of time in order to achieve their aim. We are campaigning to improve the legal status of woman. Carry out, administer, administrate, execute, govern, render. For example, if you carry out a threat, task, or instruction, you do it or act according to it. Police say that they believe the attacks were carried out by nationalists. Commitments have been made with little intention of carrying them out. Election, noun, elections, elect, electioneer, elective. Choice, alternative, option, preference, selection. For example, an election is a process in which people vote to choose a person or group of people to hold an official position. The final election results will be announced on Friday. Legal, adjective, legalize, legality, legally. Lawful, innocent, legitimate, licit. For example, legal is used to describe things that relate to the law. He vowed to take legal action. I sought legal advice on this. Threat, noun, threaten, threatened, threatening. Danger, menace, liability. For example, a threat to a person or things is a danger that something unpleasant might happen to them. A threat is also the cause of this danger. Some couples see single women as a threat to their relationships. Secure, verb, secures, securing, secured cover, fend, guard, protect, safeguard, screen, shield. For example, if you secure something that you want or need, you obtain it, often after a lot of effort. Secure is used in a formal context. Federal leaders continued their efforts to secure a ceasefire. Obtain, verb, obtains, obtaining, obtained, acquire, annex, chalk up, gain, have, pick up, procure, secure, win. For example, to obtain something means to get it or achieve it. The perfect body has always been difficult to obtain. Ceasefire, noun, ceasefires, truce, armistice. For example, a ceasefire is an agreement in which countries or groups of people that are fighting each other agree to stop fighting. They have agreed to a ceasefire after 3 years of conflict. Investigate, noun, investigates, investigating, investigated, investigation. Explore, delve, into, dig, into, go, into, inquire, into, look, into, probe, prospect, sift. For example, if someone, especially an official, investigates an event, situation, or claim, he tries to find out what happened or what the truth is. Police are still investigating how the accident happened. Dispatch, verb, dispatches, dispatching, dispatched, address, consign, forward, remit, route, ship, transmit. For example, if you dispatch someone to a place, you send him there for a particular reason. The Italian government was preparing to dispatch 4,000 soldiers to search the island. Replacement, noun, replace, replaced. Alternate, backup, fill-in, pinch hitter, stand-in, sub, surrogate. For example, if you refer to the replacement of one thing by another, you mean that second thing takes the place of the first. Let's investigate the problem before we dispatch replacements, the replacement of damaged or lost books. Substitute, verb, substitutes, substituting, substituted. Exchange, change, swap, switch, trade. For example, if you substitute one thing for another, or if one thing substitutes for another, it takes the place or performs the function of the other thing. They were substituting violence for dialogue. Vague, adjective, vaguer, vaguest. Ambiguous, equivocal, opaque, uncertain, unclear, inexplicit, unintelligible. For example, if something written or spoken is vague, it does not explain or express things clearly. A lot of talk was apparently vague and general. Apparently, adverb, apparent. Ostensibly, evidently, officially, outwardly, professedly, seemingly. For example, you use apparently to indicate that the information you are giving is something that you have heard, but you are not certain that it is true. Apparently, the girls are not amused by business. Amuse, verb, amuses, amusing, amused, divert, entertain, recreate. For example, if something amuses you, it makes you want to laugh and smile. The thought seemed to amuse him.